you're talking about murals or creating sculptures, or you're getting other artists, and maybe it becomes a different kind of community. I love beer and wine, but I don't want to hang the hat on just that. There's other things that could be going on. We're not as much of a manufacturing region. Obviously, the URI is huge for the region. To think about these programs, think a little bit differently. We want to attract, we want to retain, we want it to be cool again. And if I could be a part of that, that's why I'm here. And that's kind of the goal moving forward of what I want to do, because I want to stop talking about how much I love it, and I want to kind of come back in the community and have everybody, feeling it and staying here. And when the millennials, instead of like, well, I just finished college, are like, well, I'm going to go to some other cool city. Like, let's be the cool city, right? Let's do, whether your concept is along the way of a food truck, or I'm just thinking of in terms of LA and going to like a little stand in Las Feliz, and I'm like, this is the best burrito I've ever had, and I'm like, this isn't the same, or going, because food and beverages, I love it. I'm a foodie, I can say that. So I'm like, we could be doing it, and I'm always just looking around. It's not just the arts and culture, but there's opportunities, and just to kind of the carpe diem, let's seize the day and stop talking about it, and let's start doing it. So it got me excited. I've actually never been to Harvest Cafe. This is a really cool venue. So I'm excited. I'm like, there's all these people here, and I love it. And I'm like, I love that people want to start businesses and do all this other things and think a little bit differently, and go after the passion, because I'm really passionate about what I do. And it's like, oh, you like to make movies? I'm like, I play make-believe for a living. Yes, I love it. And to share that, and to have create economic activity, along with it, thinking about the future, it's kind of like, why here? It's why not? So it's.
Well, thank you.
Sorry, long-winded.
Passionate. Good.
Passionate. I like it. Sir.
There you go.
I do.
My name's Chris Stepney. I've been to, this might be like my fourth one. I recently started a business. It's Finger Lakes Photo Booths. I do photo booths for weddings and events. I come set it up. It's collapsible, but it sets up and looks just like an old-fashioned, real boxy photo booth. It's not that. It's, camera set up with a like drape in the back. It's actually like a real photo booth. Yeah, you'll probably see me at your friends' weddings or up at the wineries this summer. So I have some cards.
Film festival. Film festival.
There you go. So I have some cards if anyone wants them. Any questions?
So before anybody else want to?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, yes, sir.
Yeah, my name is Luis Flávio Lima. I'm from Brazil. Actually, my business is in Brazil. I work online, and I can work anywhere in the world. My business actually is an educational business, and everything is automatic. I have a lot of automation in my business. It's everything online, and I have a lot of followers in Brazil who follow me. And I teach courses over the internet and sell a lot of courses too. And my business is all educational business, and it's all in the internet. And I'm very good if you wanna help with automation and on the internet and sell online, I can help you.
So what brought you to this area? Are you visiting?
Yeah, I can work anywhere in the world. And my wife is working in Cornell right now, and I spend part of the time here and part of the time in Brazil, and anywhere else I want to go.
Very cool.
Wow.
Any other new faces? Sure. Please.
Hi everyone, my name is Jen. I'm a corporate trainer, and actually what you were talking about, I work with engineers, millennials. And I always, after talking to Judy, that's why I'm really here, is because Judy was that passionate. I'm like, anybody's that excited about anything, you just got to go to see what it's about. But I thought when we originally talked that I wanted to do more coaching for millennials, but after watching your presentation, I think that the real need that would marry up with what I'm passionate about is helping companies manage millennials. Because you get these young kids out of college, And company solutions for keeping them, and by the way, most millennials leave after 3 years, is they just throw more money at them. And it's stupid. And it doesn't work. Because they throw more money at them and they end up leaving. But the program that I run is a 5-year program, and I have a 90% retention rate after 5 years, and a 94% retention rate for those in the program. So that's 5 years, so it's well beyond the curve of when most millennials split. And it's a lot, it's a benefit to the organization, but it feels small. I'm doing it for this one company. It isn't really too, I mean, they're excited about it, don't get me wrong, but I'm watching other companies make the same mistake. And I just had a millennial quit because he wanted to work on his music. I mean, this kid is making more money than I could ever hope to make when I was his age. And he just wanted to focus on his music. And companies are missing out on helping them do what they're passionate about and still be successful. And I think that's why I was here, just to think about, all right, what can I do with myself aside from focusing on this one company and this one small group. And I got a lot out of your presentation. I'm sorry? Sure.
These are cards for the 2 programs I talked about. So that is a good one for that.
Yeah,
Passing
it's
the
pretty
pilot.
good, yeah.
Thank you. Anybody else? I think we sort of did open mic by going around the room, but we didn't answer the question of topic for next month.
Right.
So what, I would like everybody to come back next month. We'd like to be entertaining and informative. What would you guys like to know about? What's an entrepreneurial startup? We can tell stories. I can cover a lot of territory. And it doesn't just have to be me. There's 5 of us.
I'm throwing one out, hoping that someone will come up with something better.
Okay.
I am putting my list together of what do I absolutely need to have for this season versus what's like the nice to haves, because I get distracted by them. One of the nice to haves is like all of the marketing things, like wrapping the trucks and doing these big ad campaigns or social media things. And I'm not sure, like clearly they're in the nice to have pile, like, yeah, I'd like to look at them once in a while, but it'd be nice to know what are the best, how do I evaluate what's right for my business? And then how do I leverage those as tools in the most effective way?
Are you asking what kind of marketing tools you need? Or are you asking, I'm not sure what you're asking.
I don't know either.
So maybe marketing.
Marketing as a general bubble we haven't really touched yet.
Marketing tactics, data-driven marketing. So we're very much data people. I will tell you a quick story. My first company had a lot of creative people working there. We had a rule, which was this. Started at 250, eventually became 500. We'll spend $500 on any marketing concept you come up with, as long as you tell me 2 things. 1, how are we going to measure success? And 2, tell me what success looks like before we actually launch it. And it doesn't have to be just sales. It could be sign up for my mailing list, fill out my survey. It could be all kinds of things. Because we use this as a way to, I'm not very good at analyzing marketing programs, but I am good at analyzing data. So I said, we can try all these things. I'll spend $500. And then we were able to see what worked, and then we just poured money into that. But we can go into quite some depth about both marketing tactics and marketing, data-driven marketing, because there's a lot of tools out there, like what's the difference between a Twitter and a Facebook and a Google and a Yahoo and a...
And you know, if you're a small business, you don't want to be wasting a lot of time and investing in something that's not really going to give you a lot of return.
Right, like I would never wrap a vehicle.
I would if I own a landscape company, however. So like
But how do you measure it?
How many phone calls do I get the week that I'm driving around town?
Okay, good enough.
I think just before I got in the line of make-believe, I came from marketing advertising.
Oh.
The Coca-Colas and
I'm happy to see the stage.
what?
I'm happy to see
You
the
want to
stage.
speak next time?
I think something that, this isn't a selling thing for me, but we do have a drone and cameras that you shoot movies or TV show, that quality that you can pull stills from. I also have a commercial production company that I would like to do more work with, but I know it's self-serving talking about this, but I feel like the brand messaging between and the consistency of those messages that a lot of small businesses, between the wineries to the local restaurant to you name it, is so all over the place. And I talk about measuring the data, and to navigate the digital landscape, it's very inconsistent. And and let's be honest, with some of these tourism or hospitality type businesses, you're not necessarily marketing to people that live here, because when I'm traveling, the first thing I'm doing is Googling, like, what restaurant do I, oh, it's a James Beard award-winning chef at this restaurant. And I'm looking at stuff, I'm looking at photos, I'm looking at everything and kind of passively seeing if I would want to step foot in that store or whatever, or what it looks like. And when the brand is so all over the place, and then everybody just wants to get on this whole thing of, like me on Facebook, and what does that translate? And what they're saying, and that content management and reputation management, is that they're so all over the place, and it's kind of frustrating, because I'm like, oh, this is such a cool place. Why aren't they doing something a little bit more? And it's just kind of curating that a little bit more versus like, well, I gotta put another photo on Instagram. But you know, you look at the numbers, like, well, why do I only have 150 followers, or what are you doing differently? So, if anything, you know, marketing in the digital landscape and traditional advertising, you know, frankly, I don't feel is as strong as it once was in terms of radio and broadcast buys. It's really hard, and often, you know, I'm sorry if anybody works in TV or radio sales, but they do value ads and like, well, we'll produce a commercial for you for free, and that's like frustrating, because the first thing I want to do is turn that commercial off, because I know that there's a difference between a local commercial and a Nike commercial. Obviously, the budgets are different, but if you do it the right way, you know, you have outlets basically online that you can take advantage of, but then you should curate them closely, because anybody that, like myself, that's traveling or coming to the area, they're going to find you in some way, and that's transmedia marketing. But I can go on.
So are you proposing that you would do a session on branding? Because I consider branding and marketing actually cousins, but not the same topic.
Yeah, I would love to.
All right, why don't we talk?
Okay.
So we got to vote for marketing tactics. We've got to vote for brand. Any other, sir?
Business relationships, both like partnerships, both from the I need something you have perspective, but then also from the we're going to sit down and found a company as a group of people. I know personally from experience, there's been 2 or 3 times when I've been very close to founding this company, but it all gets down to this Mexican standoff of like, well, I don't necessarily trust you, you don't necessarily trust me, we're going to be putting money into this venture, you know, how do we proceed? So I think, at least speaking personally myself, that'd be interesting.
Good, yeah, when did we do that? We did a version of this called 7 Conversations Entrepreneurs Have Before They Implode. Yeah.
Like co-founders. But we didn't tape it.
We didn't tape it, so maybe we'll revisit. Yeah, there's a certain point we're gonna laugh, because we're gonna want to come back to the topics that people didn't catch. But yeah, one of the people on our team who came last time, Ariana Blossom, she's an entrepreneur in residence, and one of her specialties is conflict resolution, because we see this a lot in founders. They get together and they get into the business, and then things go north and south, and they could either implode or tear the company apart, or both. Yeah, it's important. All right. Any other concepts we want to talk about?
This is not even remotely baked. Robert and I, not unlike you, we bailed out of DC, not having jobs, but just fell in love with this area and wanted to be here. And through some of the people in this room, you know, figured out a way to get us here. And it's interesting because I feel like there are a lot of people like that. They're here because they want to be here. They feel like this is a really special place. And yet, you know, I hear about all these like individual ideas that people have, which I'm always inspired listening to people. And then I think about this, you know, what's the possibility to kind of take this very regional approach to, Mike, it was a little bit about what you were talking about. Who are all the players, and what are the things that, you know, we have intentions around or we want to be up to that kind of goes beyond our individual piece, but is in service of something, you know, related to our collective love for this area that would also make Judy and, you know, people who are really committed to sort of economic development also happy. I don't know what's in there, but that was just something that was coming to mind in listening to everybody.
The resource map?
I don't know what that is, but...
Yeah, we're always talking about the resource map. And
yeah.
That's actually some... Judy, you could speak to that.
I'd much rather have some.
I wish I had a Judy. I cover 8 counties. I wish I had a Judy in every county.
Aw, that's very
she
nice.
She does a phenomenal job of
Yeah.
really connecting us to the community and making things happen. So if we can clone you, just no, because
But that's a good topic. How do I connect to
Right.
people like this? How does she find me? And what are the best tools? Because there are so many options, and not all of them are the best for this area.
yeah, and
They might be
navigating.
great for New York City, or they might be great for rural Ohio, but they don't work here. I think we have a culture here
Yeah.
that,
He's taking the first step, a good step by coming here.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
you bring up a good point. You spoke to the Small Business Development Council. They do entrepreneurship a little differently than we do. Right, so
And I do, there is one, I do want to say this, and it's interesting. So we're pushing the canvas, the lean canvas, and so that's what we're pushing. So the idea is, it's not a business plan, it's something that's a little more fluid.
Yep.
However, our bankers and our financial institutions are still sort of, they have that foot in the, I need to see a traditional business plan with the cash flow. And so my question is, how do we get our financial institutions that are doing a lot of our small business lending to understand where we need them to be?
they're coming around. So I work with the bankers as well. And so they are lending money to companies that are doing this.
They are.
They are actively. Right, so
In Schuyler County?
I don't know about that.
Can you tell me where that?
Yeah, so I'll tell you, I work closely with the people at M&T.
Okay.
I work with the people at Tompkins Trust Company.
Okay.
And they want to see customers. They're not in the I want to see your plan business. They're in the I want to get paid back business. And the way you get paid back is customers. And so I know of just this year of multiple 6-figure loans that they've given entrepreneurs who did not have a business plan. What they did have is customers. So if you come in with a customer-centric approach, bankers are happy. So there's a term we use in entrepreneurship called the California no, which is all the reasons a banker or an investor tells you no that aren't the truth. And if they say, well, you need a business plan, well, that's, I think, is a diversion. If you come in and go, I've got lots of customers, no plan, they'll be like, yeah, let's do a deal.
Well, and that's where my son's at.
Yeah, and so I
He
think
literally has people that are interested, and yet we feel that because of what we've been told, we have to put this whole package together, which neither of us really know what to do. But I know it's very viable because he does have customers.
Right, and we can get that funded. So one of the talks we have given, maybe we'll loop back on, it's called 13 Ways to Raise Money for Your Company that's not the bank or the credit cards. And I opened it up with a picture of 2 people who are, one's an investor, one's a banker, and they come to me all the time and say, Brad, I have more money to put to work than businesses to put to work in. Because there is a myth that there's not money there's not money available for upstate New York companies. The truth is there's a significant amount of money. There are investors who invest from all over the world in companies here. If you have a good business, it can get funded, and we can teach you how to do that. But you may have the wrong banker, or he may be giving you a California no. I may have to dive into the business. But if he's got customers, then that's way more important than a business plan.
I think so, but that's where we're kind of stuck trying to help.
Maybe you got the wrong banker. Yeah.
Okay.
So well, we should talk.
I like that. Thank you.
All right, so should we do some networking? And so we can formally break, but before I give up the stage, I do have some cards. If you're interested in the women's program or the hardware program, I've got these cards. And I encourage you to stay and meet some of these interesting folks who introduce themselves tonight.
Thank you, Brad.
Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
No, where that's going.
Okay, I'm sorry. I made a lot of
I know. I don't expect you to, but
Drop us a card. I would like to say hello. I'm so glad you guys are here.
Did you get something good out of this?
every day, but no, I can't.
That was the intention.
Oh, by dance.
We'll be working on it.